Welcome back to Adventures in Search and Rescue in the Mountains of Northern New Mexico. This next posting is actually two missions where we rescued the same person twice in the same general area. The first time, I got called out to relieve an IC and take over what would be the second operational period. And as I was transferring the information, the state police had their helicopter up and saw smoke from a fire that our lost hiker had utilized to keep warm. They located him, and as such, I moved the incident base from one side of the mountain to the other so that we would have better access to him. The state police were able to actually land and help him walk out, meet the search and rescue teams, and hike out to safety. His reasons for out hiking were he wanted to be out where he could play his instrument overnight in the wilderness and commune with nature. So be it. We don't judge people on why they're out there or what reasons they got lost or needed assistance, but he did. Now let's fast forward 2 years, and we get called out again in the area of Pilar, which is along the road to Taos. And as an interesting sidelight, there's a place called the Pilar Yacht Club. I've always liked that because that's my wife's middle name. In any event, he was lost, and the state police officers had given us a location of where his vehicle was and a general idea of where they thought he was. And so I met with the people from Taos Search and Rescue, an outstanding team in many aspects. In this particular night, we met and looked over the maps and realized having the Taos team, since they were first on scene, ground pound from where we believed his vehicle was to where we thought he was, would have been an exceedingly difficult hike and exceedingly dangerous in the dark because it had been raining heavily and the trails would have been slick and with tremendous downfall. And so I decided that we would not do that ground pound. And since daylight was just a few hours away, I went through the exercise of getting permission, as I previously mentioned in an earlier post, from the tribal leaders so we could cross their property in vehicles and get to a point which we thought was pretty close to where he was. And in fact, it turned out to be. And so the actual ground pounding was relatively easy. The drive out and back was again much more difficult because of the tremendous mud conditions in on the roads. In any event, the teams got out through the mud, parked, found his vehicle, found him, and then one of the team members agreed to drive his vehicle out and brought him back to incident base. And I was surprised as they drove up to incident base, and I recognized this individual again since the previous rescue, and he was again out in the mountains communing with nature and got stuck out overnight in the cold and asked for rescue. I'm hopeful there won't be a third time because it will not be the charm that most people say. In any event, it all worked out well. The tribal leaders gave us permission to cross their property, and I emphasized that we would only drive in and out, and where we would park would not be tribal property, so we could ground pound without their permission. But they were very generous in granting it, and it saved us a tremendous amount of time and effort. In any event, this individual was rescued twice, and hopefully he's learned his lesson. In any event, till next time, thanks for joining in.